Hi, you guys. It is 7:30 Mountain Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern, and you know what that means, that it is BDP webinar time. This is Adrianne Carbonell, and I am really excited to be sharing with you some really incredible things that I had talked about this morning on the BDP Team weekly call. And so I'm just going to dive right into it. And I know we've got a couple people still coming in. And so I'm just really excited. I can't believe what a great turnout that we have. There's so many people listening in. And I love that. You know, what I love also about the BDP, can I just say this real quick, is that we have the best team in the whole world. And the reason why is because we have so much excitement, and everything that we're training and learning is always online, it's always recorded, and it's always there for you. And I absolutely love that we have that. There's not too many teams that can say that. So this past weekend, I'm going to tell you a little story real quick. This past weekend, I had a very dear friend of mine who is a networker, and he is just phenomenal. He's been in 8 different companies and been successful in almost all of them. Not all of them, but almost all of them. But learning is a success too. And so he created his last success in a couple different companies. And it's just been really fun to watch him grow and develop. And I'm very pleased to say that he is now one of our very newest Isogenics members and ready to rock and roll with that. Well, he just came out with a book called Mobilizing People. And it talks about true social marketing, and that is the business that we're in. We are in relationship marketing. And, you know, that's what's so exciting about having this book, is because there's so many ways that you can meet people to share your opportunity with these days, that you want to be as influential as you can. And I really feel like this book does that for you. So we invited him out to share with us a training about his book and really dive into it. And it's just really exciting because we had the best weekend ever. This was our Christmas present to everyone who was local here in Salt Lake area, so they could really get some good training to start the new year off right. And I think that's the most important part, is getting the new year started off right. And you know what? That starts now. Not tomorrow, it starts now. If you want to prepare for 2012, you start tonight with what we're learning. So I'm going to ask you guys right now that are listening in, if you would please pull out a pen and a piece of paper. And I'm going to talk for a second while you go grab that, but pull out a pen and a piece of paper. Just really want to enroll you in what we're going to do tonight, so that we can definitely make an impact in your business. And I think that's the most important thing. I really think it's important to write stuff down. You know, some people type things in their computers and, you know, do that. But even James said that this weekend. There's a difference with writing something down. It's very visual. You're seeing it. It's there, you know. It makes it real. And so hopefully all of you guys have had a pen and paper handy real quick, because I'm going to dive right into this. So I actually put this presentation together through 8 pages of notes that I took at our event last Saturday. So here we go. The first thing that James talks about, in order to be successful in the people industry, in order to be successful in our network marketing industry, and successful in our business, in our company, Isogenics, everything you do has to do with your attitude. Everything you do has to do with your attitude, okay? Attitude is 100%. It's always got to be 100%. If you're feeling like a 10, get yourself to 100, okay? You always want to be feeling 100% when you're sharing this business with other people. Now, have the attitude of a 10-star golden circle. Okay, a 10-star golden circle, if you're new on the webinar, if you're new in Isogenics, is the highest position you can achieve in Isogenics. And there's one person who's almost done it, and his name is Jimmy Smith, and he makes $250,000 per month. $250,000 per month. That's a 10-star golden circle. Now, if you had invested $100 million to start Isogenics, like if you know, I'm just throwing that out there for fun, but, you know, think about what your attitude would be if you were making $250,000 per month. How would you show up? What are the things, what kind of attitude would you expect yourself to have? How would you walk? How would you talk? That's what we're talking about, because everything happens right now. And some of you guys are like, well, gosh, I just wouldn't even know what that would look like. Pretend you know what that would look like. Have you ever heard the term fake it till you make it? There actually is a lot of truth to that, because, you know, it's like emulating or mirroring somebody who has what you want. That's what you've got to do. You've got to develop that attitude by mirroring and acting like you are worth more than $250,000 per month, because that's where you're headed. So, I love this quote. It says, why would I want the last shot when I already know I made it? See, sometimes you guys, we join this kind of industry because we want a better attitude on life. We want a better outlook on life. We're looking for hope, Some of us aren't destitute. Some of us are making money and we can afford to put food on the table and groceries for our family and, and send them to school and things like that. But it's not about being destitute that makes your attitude go like you want to be 100%. It's the fact that you know you can do better. So you always want the last shot because you know you can do it, all right? Even if you've already made it, you do it again because you know you can do it. And that's one thing I love that James taught. The next thing we're going to go into is your mindset. Where's your mind, okay? What are you thinking? What are your motives in starting this business? Think about some of those things. What am I thinking? What's my motive? Where's my mind at as I go before I get on a phone call and share isogenics with somebody? So here's the thing I want you to tell yourself first. First of all, there are no excuses. Okay, there's no excuse. And I said this before on a call, but if you get out there and you're excited about the isogenics opportunity, okay, I don't care if you've never even tried the products, you're excited about the fact you can make money, all right? Because most people do that. First thing we get in, we go, oh my goodness, the products look great. And then we go, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could make this much money doing it. So you have to have a no excuses attitude, okay, when you're talking to other people on the phone, when you're getting your business started, because, the wonderful thing about being in business for yourself is that nobody sets your schedule but you. The awful thing about being in business for yourself is that nobody sets your schedule but you. So set your schedule appropriately so you don't have to make excuses for why you didn't share the business with a minimum of 2 to 5 people a day. You need to be presenting in front of 2 to 5 people a day, okay? Because just like James said, you can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't do both. And that's the attitude that a $250,000 per month earner would have, right? No excuses. And success is not calculated, it's earned. It's just not calculated. It takes work. This business takes work. The beautiful thing about it is that you work when you want to work. Just make sure you work enough to get the income that you're looking for. Even if it's an extra $1,500 a month, be the person still with the $250,000 attitude who knows that you have to do presentations in a day. You've got to get those videos out there and follow up. Follow up is when the magic happens. And there's, just like Jimmy Smith says, the number one income earner in isogenics, that the fortune is in the follow-up. Well, you've got to get out there. You've got to get the excuses out of the way and get your presentation out there. Always take it to the next level, okay? And this is kind of like, think about sports or whatever, but you always want to take it to the next level. You always do. And that's because whatever's good for you isn't your best. You've got to be at your best all the time. It's your game, you guys. Be at your best, okay? Be non-negotiable, non-debatable. I want to win this game. I will win this game. I'm in it to win this game, okay? And the reason why I like that word non-negotiable, non-debatable, think about that. Write that down on your paper. I am non-negotiable, non-debatable on achieving my dreams. That means they're happening. They're here. They're coming. You're non-negotiable, non-debatable, and you're going to be that way with your partners as well. Look, hey, you know what, you guys, half of the people in this world, and especially in this business, if they just did what they said they would do, they would be so successful. They would have loads of money coming in. They'd be able to send their kids to private school, buy the nice car, go on vacation if they just did what they said they would do. And I know that sounds easier said than done, Adrianne. Some of you guys are like, oh, she's being hard on us, right? Easier said than done. Well, guess what? Okay, time to buck up because you've got to be non-negotiable and non-debatable with your goals. If you say you're going to hit executive this month, you do it. And the reason why is because the only person that you're in competition is with yourself. Okay, so you're in it to win it. So here's the first thing. We want to find a strong why, something that's strong enough, to last even when the game feels tough, even when the business feels tough. So I really want you to ask yourself, what is it that I want? What is my why? Why do I need $250,000 a month or less or more or better. It just depends. Some of you guys, when I talk to you on the phone, you're like, oh gosh, I'd be okay with just an extra $500 a month. You know what? That is playing it a little bit small because the sky is the limit in Isogenics. You'll get your 500, but you're going to work as if you're getting that $250,000 per month. Okay. So you need to find something strong enough that when you get on the phone with people and they get in your face, okay, and they're like, hey, your business is not what I wanted. I can't believe you called me, and I don't even know if these products are going to work or not. That's going to happen, by the way, if you're new. That's going to happen. Some people just aren't going to be nice about it, okay? Some people are going to be nice about it, but just totally, they're going to be non-negotiable, non-debatable in a different way. You don't need them, okay? We're just going to play the numbers game again, but find a strong enough why that's going to last through those tough times. And it's got to be like if you're breathing right. I want you to think about this. If you were, let's say, when, I don't know if this happened to you guys, but when I was a little kid, I was swimming in a swimming pool, one of my neighbor's swimming pools. They had a swimming pool, and I was so excited to go over there and play with them. But they had these two older brothers, right? Older brothers and two little girls swimming in a swimming pool. And I was really scared of water, okay? I was scared to be out there on my own. I wasn't the strongest swimmer. I just didn't have enough practice. It was very new to me still. I must have been like 6 years old. And what happened is the big brother came in and he literally started he jumped in the pool, but he jumped on me, right? How nice is that? And I felt like I was drowning because I really wasn't strong. I was by the deep end and I was trying to get back up, right? And how does it feel when you hit the top and you go, and you breathe in all that air, okay? It's like you fight for it, right? I was fighting to get to the top of that pool, to get to that air. That's how strong your why needs to feel. Okay, you need to feel it as if it was like, oh my gosh, if I don't make my 2 to 10 calls a day, my 2 to 5 calls a day, whatever you set your goals at, okay, if I don't do that, that's the way I've got to fight for it. That's my why, okay? It's got to feel like that. Your why has to feel like that. Okay. Now, one of the other things is that there is nothing that's too much. Okay, so, I've been throwing out a big number out there, like we all need to become Jenny Smith, and all of you guys are like, I'm okay with being just a 2-star golden circle, or I'm okay with being just a 3-star. You know what, your comfort level is wherever it's at, but this game really is about getting in it to win it, just like we talked about, and I know that you want to win it, and so there is nothing too much, okay? Get rid of all your limitations. If in 3 months you want to buy a Lamborghini, go get one. Okay. If in, a couple more months you want to buy a brand new home that's absolutely gorgeous, you want to move to a whole new place, do it. Put it on a dream board. You guys, this is the time where you want to start visualizing something. Go buy a bunch of magazines that you like and pull out a poster and start clipping out magazine pictures and things that represent the lifestyle you're working on. And pretty soon you'll notice that as you set your intention high enough, that you'll go back there and you'll go, oh, I did that. I got that. I have that. And that's what you want to do, okay? There is nothing too much that you can't have. God or a higher power or whatever you want to call it did not put beautiful things on this earth and wonderful, amazing vacation spots and things like that for people to not enjoy. For you to sit back and go, oh, that's just for the wealthy. That's baloney, okay? It's there for a reason. It's there for you to enjoy, and it's not too much. So you guys write down, put a note down because you're probably not going to do it during this webinar, but write down 1,000 things, okay? And I mean it, just whatever you can. Write down a million things that you want to do, be, or have, okay? Do, be, or have. Write them down. And that'll help you create your dream board. But more than that, you're going to find out that there is a lifestyle that you've been dreaming of and you totally forgot about it. You forgot because life gets in the way, or, you get divorced, or your kids go to school, or whatever. Go out there and write down, you guys, 1,000 things of what you really want. And then you're going to take action on it. And see, the thing is that whenever we think of people who are legendary, whenever you think of somebody who has a statue, like Abraham Lincoln, or, anyway, so Abraham Lincoln, let's just go with that, okay? Was he not legendary? He was legendary. Do you think he had doubts? Of course he did. But do you think he had these ideas in his mind, that yes, there could be freedom. Yes, that the U.S. could be united. Yes. And you know what? The difference between you and him is is that he took action on it, a little bit of action every single day, and he became legendary. And the only person you need to become legendary to is yourself. Because when you die, the only thing that you leave is either anything you wrote down or accomplished. Okay, really, I mean, you don't even get to take any of the accomplishments with you. It's just that people will remember what you did and what you stood for. And they're going to remember that you called them and you showed them a better way. And they're going to just, hopefully they took it. And that's what's so beautiful about being in a business like this is that so many people are struggling with either their health or their wealth. How could you know what you know and not share that with somebody? I mean, shame on you if you get people excited and don't follow up with them and really get them going, So take action on whatever you decide to become, you guys, and you will become legendary. And that's what you'll be behind. So the first thing we have to do when we start this business is we have to create our own network. Okay, we have to create a network. I mean, think about if you were starting your own business right now. Okay, and let's say you slapped down like $100,000. Well, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to have to find people to help you run your business, right? You're going to have to find your managers, your employees, your people who support you and help grow this organization and build this business. That's where a list comes in. I cannot tell you. I've been doing so much online research. When I first got started in isogenics, you guys, and everyone said, oh, make a list, make a list, make a list. I think I was very juvenile in my thoughts, and I wasn't sure what that meant really. I thought, okay, I'll just get started somewhere. And I sometimes I physically wrote things down, and then I lost them. And it was really hard for me. So I had to write things down, but I had to almost I still do this today. I keep a binder. And this binder is something that lasts with me for however long it lasts with me. As soon as I fill it up, I get a new one. Because in my binder, I open it up the night before I go to bed. I look at my binder and I write down everybody I need to call the next day, people I sent videos to and need to follow up with, all that stuff. And I create an ongoing list right there, always beside me. It's everywhere. Okay. And of course, we have lots of contact managers and wonderful new things that you can also use in this business. I'm not going to go into that right now, but, that's like advanced. But, honestly, get in here and make a physical list. Write it down. Just like I said, there's that thing about writing something down that's very visual to you that you go, oh, that person. And the reason why I wrote their name down is because their husband just lost his job, or because they really need to lose 30 pounds before their blood pressure goes through the roof or whatever. Okay, I probably shouldn't have said that, but they're sick, okay? And open your cell phone and go from like A to Z. The one thing you want to do, and I'm sure you already read this on the page, but is absolutely no prejudging, okay? And I just said no, like I would say no to my daughter if she's about to burn herself or something. No, Taya, don't touch it, Absolutely no prejudging, okay? You are not allowed to be a psychic. You have no idea what's going on in their life right now, and you won't know until you get on the phone and you present the opportunity to them. So don't pretend like you know, okay? All right. The other thing is get involved with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, MySpace. Pick one, okay? I mean, you could do all of them eventually, but just pick one. There's people that honestly, I've signed up probably 5 people this last couple of weeks. I've actually 4 last week, of just people that I have met through Facebook. Facebook is the best way to connect to people. If you don't like social media and you don't like a computer and you're not on it yet, get over it. Okay? Times are changing. If you want to make money and you want to stay in the game, you have to progress. You have to learn. Start learning again. Okay? Doesn't matter where you're at, how old you are, how young you are. Everyone has to start learning some of these new tools because you're going to miss the boat if you don't get on it and just do it. And you just get in there, take the tutorial, and just get your little profile started, and you start making friends and talking to people, okay? And, start messaging out what you're excited about. Tell stories, all right? So, and here's the other reason why we don't prejudge, because every dud knows a stud, okay? You might go, oh, my gosh, there's this girl, and blah, 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 blah. She's not even fun. I don't want her in my business. But you still got to present to her as if she's just like your best friend and the person you want to work with, because every dad knows a stud. That person knows somebody that is going to blow out your whole organization, but because you didn't give them the opportunity to, they'll never come. It will never, that person won't bring in the growth that you're looking for. So you don't prejudge, because every dad knows a stud. So create a network, and we create networks by starting lists, and that's how we find people to join us. And it doesn't take 1 million people. It doesn't even take 1,000. It only takes 2 to 3 good ones. Okay, remember that. So the next thing we're going to go into real quick is inviting. Okay, and I just did a couple 3-way calls today with some newbies in my organization, and I was so impressed with my girlfriend, my new girlfriend Lisa in Ohio, because she just gets it. She's one of those people that just she knows how to create a large network just by being herself. She's so energetic and so outgoing, and that's why I said, hey, Lisa, you just got to be excited. And she goes, okay. And she sounded, for a second, I thought she sounded nervous, but there's no way she was nervous, because we did the call and it turned out great. And the whole time she was being herself and she was being excited. Okay. And that is what creates a great invitation, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Okay. It's not about the words that exactly come out of your mouth. It's the fact that you are wanting to share something that's special to you with them. And that's what's important. So the first thing, you're going to get on the phone and you're going to praise them first, and you're going to tell some stories about what you're excited about, whether it's your story or somebody else's story that got you excited in the business. But you're going to praise them first, hey, Jeannie, I'm calling you because I'm really excited. I know you've been telling me for a while now that you wanted to make more money, and I think I have something where you and I can make a fortune. And I wanted to tell you a quick story, okay? And you tell them a story, and you always want to make it exclusive too, because everyone always wants what they can't have. It's like, I would really like a Bentley 4-door coupe. And it's coming, okay, it's because I already put it on my vision board. But I'm just saying, the point is, I want it, right? Because I can't have it right now. Maybe in a couple more months, but I can't have it right now. And so that's what you want to do. You want to make it exclusive. So once you get to the point where you're going to put your leader on the phone, or somebody else who's just going to help create credibility for your business and your opportunity, then you're going to say, hey, you know what? And the wonderful thing is, you're really lucky, okay? Because tonight I have somebody on the phone with us that I didn't think would be available, and because I'm new in this company, she's going to share with you a little bit more about why, how you can be successful, because she's successful. See, nobody, we don't ever want to surprise attack somebody, like you're going to set an appointment and everything, but when you do it, you still want to make it exclusive, okay? You want to make it very exclusive, that they get to have this wonderful conversation with somebody they have no idea who it is, okay? But, you want to make it exclusive to them. And then again, here you go. Just remember this as you're inviting. How would you talk to people if you had invested $100 million in this business? Because you need partners, right? I mean, if you invested $100 million in something and you wanted to make your money back, how would you invite people? How would you present to people? You would definitely create some urgency, right? So, you want to create urgency, but you never want to beg. You never want to beg, okay? Because we're not desperate here. There's tons and tons of people we can, talk to on our list. They're not going to be the only person we talk to. All right, but we're not going to beg anybody. We're just going to create urgency. So here I wrote out an example, and I'm going to kind of read through it, but I have to move my, bear with me for just one moment here. I've got a control panel up in front of my screen. You know what? How about you guys read it as I go through, okay? The first thing you do is you always want to be yourself. So like if, I'm always saying like awesome and excited and things like that. So I would call, like, let's say I'm calling my friend Lisa or something like, hi Lisa, what's up girl? I would say stuff like that. Or, hi, Lisa. How you doing? Oh, Lisa, you're so awesome, right? I'm going to give her some praise. Oh, my gosh, tell me about your day, right? No, don't have her tell you about your whole day. I said that on purpose, okay? You don't need to hear about her whole day. But what you do want to do is just get in there and be yourself still, okay? Hi, Lisa, how are you? Awesome, great. All those things, that's still you. Hey, if we're going to create urgency, another good way to do this is to, say stuff like this. I was on my way out the door, and I had to give you a call, okay? And the reason why is because I met this amazing girl, and she's really super successful, and she makes a lot of money, okay? And, she's letting me work with her, okay? So I say words like maybe, hopefully, letting, okay? And this is important because you're not guaranteeing that you need them, all right? So you're almost taking it away from the beginning, but, she's letting me work with her, and they might let me introduce you to her but she's only available at certain times. Like, she's only available the next 2 days. She's only available Tuesday and Wednesday, and it's really only from 6 to 8. And so I really, hopefully you'll get to meet her, and I really want you to. But I really want to know how important this is to me. I'm looking at you as a business partner who wants to make a lot of money. So, basically, if you could pick a time, that'd be great. You know what I mean? And just say, and I'll see if she can do it, because you don't know for sure, but you want to set the appointment, okay? And yeah, you just want to set the appointment, you guys. Get in there and set the appointment. Okay, so we're going to talk about meeting conduct for a minute. And again, real quick, just to wrap inviting up, you guys, just do it. Okay, get on there and invite people to view something, to view a video, to get on the phone with somebody introduce them somehow to this business. Just do it. It doesn't matter what you say, it's how you say it. Okay, meeting conduct. Now, this is if you have local meetings in your area, we're going to talk about how you should behave in a presentation, okay? Or not so much behave. I don't want to talk to us like we're children, we're adults. But this is kind of a formula for success, and it almost works like a recipe, okay? And so the first thing you want to do is we all want to create the environment, all right? Because what happens is the way that you begin your business, the way that you begin your business meetings, that's the environment that you create for the rest of the meeting. And that's the environment and the culture you create in your community and your business. So you always want to begin with the end in mind. If you want this to feel like a business, you want people who come in to treat it like a business, that you're all making money, then this probably is going to work for you, okay? So you always want to dress for success. You always want to look professional. I'm not saying you need to be like suit and tie or anything like that unless you want to, but you need to dress for success. You need to look nice, okay? I would even, take a breath mint and, make sure everything's clean in your fingernails, stuff like that. But you want to dress for success, okay? And the next thing you want to do is after you've invited somebody, you want to pick up your guests, okay? So like if you're having a presentation that night and, you've got 2 new people invited and they're kind of nervous, right? Because they've never done anything like this before. Then you're going to maybe want to go out there and show that you care and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to pick you up, about a half hour to the meeting. Is that okay? And they'll go, well, why? And they go, yeah, I just want to care. I just want to make sure that we get there on time and we get the right information, So pick up your guests. Show that you care. And the other thing is you want to be early. 5-10 minutes early, something like that. And the earlier that you get there, I'm not saying you need to get there a half hour early, but 5 to 10 minutes is about appropriate, okay? And the reason I want to be there early is because you want to introduce your guests to everybody, okay? And, I have this little saying written down by early is on time is late, and, late is like you never did anything, So be early, okay? And introduce your guests to everybody. And James gave an example of Cheers, the show, everybody knows your name, and that's kind of how you want the meeting to feel, because people want to be where they're comfortable. People want to be around people who know their name, right? Who maybe have talked to them a little bit and found out a little bit what's going on in their life, So you want to introduce your guests to everybody so they feel welcome, okay? Then you want to sit up front because energy is caught. It's not taught. People will come into this and they're going to be nervous and they're going to be scared, like a scared little child who's going to start kindergarten on his first day. Okay, that's a lot of the times what they look like, a deer in the headlights. Okay, like I said, yes, I'd go to this thing and I have no idea what she's inviting me to, right? So you want to kind of sit up front with them and get them excited and get them feeling like, because the people in the first 2 rows won't see anything that's going on in the back. And when you're sitting in those first 2 rows, all you can focus on is the speaker. That's where you want to be. Okay, you want to fight for the front. The next thing you want to do is take notes. Okay, always be taking notes. And it's the best because if you're the speaker up front and somebody's taking notes, they're listening. But if you're not the guest, but your guest sees you taking notes, okay, and they're not, maybe pull out, grab a piece of pen and a piece of paper. Don't just throw it at them like, here, like you should be taking notes. Go, oh gosh, you could even say, I'm sorry, I didn't give you this. You probably want to take notes, right? So you're going to suggest they take notes in a nice way. You probably ought to take notes, that kind of a thing, so that they can feel, like they're learning something as well. That's why I have that monkey see, monkey do, because that's not something normally some people do, but not everybody. They're not, really ready to take notes for something they don't even know what's going on. So you want them to be really invested in what the speaker is saying, okay? So The other thing is that I'm really touchy. James is really touchy. You know, a lot of people I know, we're very touchy because we're very passionate people. We get excited about what we're doing. So I'm okay with touching people lightly. Like I'll touch their, you know, leg or knee, or, you know, put my arm around them, or, you know, tap them, or, you know, something soft, you know, that kind of a thing. So just to let them know that I care and that I'm paying attention, and, you know, that kind of thing. And also you do it because if they're sitting in the meeting and they're like slouched back and they're not, you know, really understanding what's going on, like let's just say that they're kind of zoning out there, you know, or we're watching the video, it's like video time in the meeting and they're kind of zoning out. You know, you might just want to kind of, you know, reach back and smile or something and tap them on the leg and, you know, kind of look up front or something, just like you're grateful that they're there, but really to wake them up, okay, so that they pay attention. All right, the next thing you want to do is you want to participate. If the speaker throws out a question, answer the question, okay? Participate in the meeting, all right? And once you do that too, they'll see that it's okay to participate as well, and they'll get so much more out of it when they're also answering questions in the meeting. So, you know, we need you to be you, but just a little bit more, okay? So we need you to be you, but using some of these basic meeting conducts, and that makes you just a little bit more, okay? So that you're more interesting to the crowd. All right. You know, after the presentation's over, after everything's done, the first thing, I have this called the opening and close, because you're going to close with opening up an opportunity to them. And so you want to say to yourself, you know, did you see a way to make money with our company today? Or, you know, did you see a way where you could get healthier, where you could lose that 10 pounds you're talking to me about and make money in the process? You know, ask them and then be quiet. Wait for them to respond. Listen to their response. You know, the best part of being a good closer is actually listening to what they're saying and being able to flip the answer around, and really address the question with a good. You know, you always want to acknowledge whatever they say. So let's say somebody says, "Oh my gosh, is this one of those, you know, pyramid things or whatever?" You just kind of want to look them in the eye and be silent and go, "Okay, are you serious? Do you think I would invite you to a presentation like this if I didn't think that there was an opportunity for us to make money?" You know, and then ask them, you know, kind of go, "Okay, well, wait, you know, what is it? What is that? I don't even know what you're talking about." Or you can just go, "What do you mean? You know, what is that?" Give them an opportunity to really answer their questions. But you guys, be knowledgeable defensive, okay? You know, and then that, you know, that does take some time, but not really. Just believe in what you're offering. You know, if somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you invited me to this thing. I can't believe I did that, blah, 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 this is awful," you know, which I very rarely get that. But I'm just saying, you know, if it doesn't feel like it's going the way you want it to go, be a little bit defensive. If they're going to say something that's, you know, not okay with you about the way that you believe in your business, just acknowledge that's what they said, and then come back and offer something different, okay? You know, offer a different answer to that, like put it a different way for them. And you know, the next thing is push yourself to the limit. When you're closing, when you're talking to somebody at the end of this, really push yourself to the limit to make sure you really understand what they need, okay? And then address that. Always go for that. All right. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to get some tools, okay? So when you first get started, I always say this, leaders are readers, okay? And you want to read about this industry. You know, you want to get to understand, you know, what other leaders are doing to be successful. How in the world is Jimmy Smith making $250,000? You know, that kind of a thing. So I would start actually by buying the book Mobilizing People by James Hsu. I think it's absolutely incredible, and it is available on Amazon. It's $19.95. And for those of you who are in locally, we do have 40 books left. Okay, we only have 40 books left here in Salt Lake City. And what a great present to give out to the leaders in your team. You know, you can just come up to the office. We've got them right there. You can pick a couple up and take them out and wrap them up with a cute little bow and give them to your teammates and help them understand what they need to be doing. Give them things to read. You know, the next thing is that James has suggested you read you get some things from Jim Rohn or Robert Kiyosaki, and I would totally agree. In fact, I posted on here, we have these audio CDs available on isasalestools.com, and they're very inexpensive. But this Building Your Business by Jim Rohn, I just want you to know that is the first audio CD that was ever given to me when I got started in Isogenics, and I think it's paid off. Because I continue to go back to it. I continue to go back to How to Build Your Business with Jim Rohn. He tells the best stories, okay? He really gets you thinking, and that's the most important part. When you're doing a business, you want to be thinking ahead, okay? Thinking ahead. And that's what I love about Jim Rohn. I like this Robert Kiyosaki too. That's a good tool to give out to your teammates as well. Both of those, I would buy in bulk and give them out to your new members. The people who say they're going to do the business with you go, great, here, listen to this, and then let's get you started. And I really like those two. And of course, we have the BDP training site as well, which you guys are on, and get familiar with that and go in there and search things and be a part of our blogging. You guys can blog questions and we'll answer them and all sorts of fun stuff, so make sure you get become a part of that. The next thing I would tell you to do is document your journey, okay, or journal the whole time, because you know what? If you as you're going through this, you're going to learn a lot of things. And sometimes when you don't write them down or, acknowledge that you learned something, you'll repeat it. And some of those things you might not want to repeat. Some of the things you do, but a lot of them you don't as you first get started. So you want to make sure that you journal that, and you can go back and read, what was going on and who you talked to and what happened and what you said and all that good stuff. I think keeping a journal of your life anyways is very, very important. I've always done that. I've done that since I was a little girl, and I still do it. I continue to do it. Sometimes I don't write every day, but I do it. And that's the important thing, okay? And just like how I told you I keep that spiral binder, that's kind of, in a lot of ways, my journal. I mean, I buy a nice little pretty binder from like Barnes & Noble or something eco-friendly, whatever. It's whatever you like. But you want to write in something, so make it something that you prefer to write in that looks, pretty to look at. So open it up and write in there and make sure you put your appointments in. Okay. And so basically, to wrap it up, I just want you guys to know that there are going to be emotional roller coasters. Okay, and you need to prepare for it. And the best way to prepare for it is just take action on doing something different. When you start to feel like these highs and lows and the way that you feel like, so-and-so said yes, oh, so-and-so said no. Oh my gosh, we did this. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do that. Or, things like that. There's going to be highs and lows when you're starting your own business because you're starting something new. And it's just like a rubber band, okay? The first time you stretch out a brand new rubber band, it snaps right back. But if you continue to stretch it, that's how you will be. That's how you'll learn to be a business person. That's how you'll learn to be a leader in Isogenics. And you always, what leaders do is they don't let their highs be too high and they don't let their lows be too low. They try to stay somewhere like this, okay? Like in the awesome zone, all right? Where, oh yeah, that happened, but oh, whatever, oh my gosh, that happened, that's awesome. Okay, good, let's get them to the next level. You kind of want to always be in the awesome zone, right? Okay, the next thing is that we have rejection rocket. And here's what happens oftentimes when there's people out there that we're presenting to, because this is a people business again, and we're presenting to people, okay, is that you want to remember that basically, I would literally write this down right now if you have your pen and paper out, okay? Write down numbers 1 through 5 on the left side. And on number 1, I want you to put your name, okay? So like there I have my name. And then in order from like highest to lowest, I want you to put down who are the next people in your list that you feel like you have to answer to or who have a lot of influence in your life. They're always giving you opinions or, you're talking to them on the phone. Write down those in the next 4 spots, okay? So like I put down, my kids, my boyfriend, my mom, and my friends, or a couple, just mostly a couple friends that really I actually listen to, okay? And, you want to remember that some people aren't always going to be okay with what you're doing, but you want to write this next to number 1. I'm the decision maker, okay? And if you total all those people up, they're just the influence. So whenever you start feeling like, like you want to, anytime you start to feel rejection or negativity or anything like that, you want to combat it by going back to why you're doing all this. So you're the decision maker. Those are just the influence. Don't let these toxic dream stealers, okay, make your decisions. You always want to know that there's going to be people out there who just don't get what you're doing. It's not their fault, okay? Just forgive them ahead of time before ever say anything not nice about what you're headed for, okay? And just move on. So that's that, and let your game speak, okay? How you know if you're winning a game is by your organization growing, okay? And you're only in competition with yourself, so you want to be your best. If you're going to talk trash about anybody or anything or be upset about whatever, do it to yourself in a way that's motivating. Don't try to beat yourself up, but, always know that you can do better, and just know that, okay? Don't just know that you can always do better. And so you want to, how you're making an impact, and this is also how your game speaks, okay, is if you're making an impact, that means you're duplicating yourself. There are other people in your organization who are doing exactly what you're doing. They're not waiting for you to tell them that they need to go out and start their own weekly presentations. They're just doing it, They're not waiting for you to call them, invite people to the presentation or invite people to view something. They're not waiting for you to do it. They're just doing it because they know that they're in it to win it. That's how you know you're making an impact, is when other people are doing what you're doing, okay? And learn from everything you do, all right? And just learn. And never give up, okay? If I had given up, a year and a half into isogenics when I didn't even know what I was doing, really, I would never be making the money that I'm making. Most people who don't make it in this industry or say that this industry is not what they want to do, it's because they gave up too early, okay? So just never give up. Know that if you're in it, you can win it. And so that is my whole presentation. And to be respectful of your time, I am so going to just end it right here. And just make sure that if you feel like you need to view something again, that you go back in and watch the recorded version. And that's it, you guys. Let's make this a great week. So I will talk to all you guys later. And thank you for being on the webinar. And make sure that you invite people to your weekly meetings and that you get out there and you start inviting people to your opportunity. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.